The differential from average to world-class is the world-class Chief Information Security Officer have figured out their superpower. What is it that you do better than anyone else that comes easy to you and provides tremendous value to others? Welcome to Life of a CISO. I'm Dr. Eric Cole, your host, and we'll be taking you on a journey each week on what it takes to be a CISO and what are solutions that you can implement today if you are currently a Chief Information Security Officer or if you want to be one in the future. This is Life of a CISO. Welcome to this week's edition of Life of a CISO with yours truly, Dr. E is in the house, and we're doing Rockstar Edition, right? I figured we'd mix it up a little bit, right? We all just want to be rock stars anyway, right? So why not get a little bling bling going? Figured I'd mix it up, have some fun, and listen to my coaches, because my coaches are like, dude, on your podcast, just be authentic Eric. I just let that real Eric come out. So here we go. I hope you're ready for it. We're going to have some fun. So we have a lot of conversations with folks about taking their CISO career to that next level. And what we're really talking about is the difference between an average CISO and a world-class CISO. Now, what is the real difference? They both are Chief Information Security Officers. They're both showing up. They're both doing a great job. They're both briefing executives. They're both doing exactly what's needed in order to continue to get paid and continue to be employed by the company. But what is that differential? The differential from average to world-class is the world-class Chief Information Security Officer have figured out their superpower. What is it that you do better than anyone else that comes easy to you and provides tremendous value to others? Is it speaking? Some CISOs are great at articulating complex topics and helping people understand it. Is it writing? Right? Some CISOs are really, really good at that writing piece. Is it strategic? Is it building out a strategy? It might even be more granular. Maybe your superpower is regulation. You understand regulation and compliance and can help organizations get there quicker and faster than others. But here's the trick. If you want to move from average to world class, and people often ask me, Eric, why do I want to do that? It sounds like it's more work. Well, let me explain. Average CISOs have a job. They go to a job and they get paid. Some days they like the job. Some days they don't. Some days they're frustrated. Some days they're stressed. But the reality is they're basically getting paid and they're not in control. They are totally at effect. The company is totally at cause, totally in control, and can totally do what they want or don't want to those individuals. And the interesting thing about average is that stability you think that you have, you actually don't. Have you seen the news lately? They are doing massive layoffs, right? You are seeing people who have been at a company where they thought we are good. I have a job for the next 15 years, and they're going, bye-bye. So here's the irony of it. So many people trade in their dreams for stability at a job that doesn't really exist anymore. Because I will tell you right now, you could work at a company and you could do the best job on the planet. And you could be their best employee for 10 or 15 years. But if they have funding issues or revenues are down or they're a publicly traded company and they can't meet their margins, they would not even think twice about letting you go. So I want to say it again. Why do so many people give up their dreams of being world class, doing what they love to do for stability of a paycheck that doesn't actually exist? So I'm challenging you to rethink. Now, here's the cool part. To live what we're talking about here is living your purpose. That's really when we go in and we talk about world-class CISOs. What we're really talking about is tapping in to your purpose, the reason why you're here, and using it to make you the best you possibly could be in your field. Now, a couple of little differentiators here. When we talk about purpose, people often confuse the two P's, purpose and passion. Purpose is why you're here. Purpose is what do you do better than anyone else with the least amount of effort? What is the unique skill that when you were born, you were given that special superpower? That's your purpose. Passion are things that you enjoy, things that are fun to do, things that are interesting to you, but you're not necessarily really good at it, and you're not the best, and it doesn't come at ease. It's okay to have passions, right? A lot of people like golf, like tennis. Those are passions. They're not making millions of dollars because they are not uniquely gifted in that, but they do enjoy it. And that's what happens is people confuse their passions with their purpose. You can have passions. You can have things you enjoy that you're not the best at. But the purpose, your purpose is something special. Like I said, what is it that you do that other people are at awe at? Where they're like, how do you do that? You're like, what do you mean? It's easy, it's simple. They go, no. You do such a good job at that. You make it look so easy and you're better than anyone else, but it comes at ease. That is your purpose. And that's what you need to figure out. Start asking people. Start saying, hey, when you think of me, what do you think of? What do I do that's really unique or special? What do you think that I'm really, really good at and actually enjoy doing? Now, no one can tell you your purpose, but they can hint and help you find it. So don't ever take what somebody says as, yep, that's it. But you should use it as a, let me research that a little further. You know, I love my stories. So we're going to do my bake your pie story. And just to keep everybody happy, it's a fictional story based on real life events, because I always go from memory when I do these stories, and sometimes a little couple factual things I get wrong and people are like, well, that's not correct. So I just always say it's a fictional story based on real life events. Marie Callendar. If you've never heard of Marie Callendar, go to any grocery store and go to the frozen food dessert section. You will see Marie Callendar pies, Marie Callendar desserts. They usually, I just went to prepare for this last night when I was picking up a few items on the way home. I went by and there was 2 freezers of Marie Callendar's at Harris Teeter. So Marie Callendar, very big, well-known name. Do you know how Marie Callendar got started? Marie Callendar was working as a waitress in a Greasy Spoon diner. And the diner was going out of business. They weren't doing well. And she's a single mom trying to provide for her family, and this is her only job. So she loves baking pies. So she had an idea. So she goes to the owner of the diner and says, listen, I know business isn't good, and I know tips are down, and I'm not going to ask you to pay me any more money. But I was wondering, if I bake a pie tonight, can I come in and sell the slices at the diner to make a little extra money because the tips are down? I said, fine. We don't sell pies anyway. Not a big deal. Go for it. So she goes home and she bakes a pie. Now I want to pause for a second because there's a couple of very significant things in this story that I don't want you to miss. First, she took initiative. She did not wait for the owner of the diner to ask her to bake a pie. She decided that she was going to ask him. When it comes to being a world-class CISO, don't sit back and wait for them to ask you. I just had this call yesterday where I'm on a coaching call, one of my clients, fairly new client, and they're so frustrated. They go, Eric, there was an opening for the CISO position at our company, and it was given to somebody else. And I wanted it so bad. And I said, well, how many times did you ask him? They go, what do you mean? I said, how many times did you go to the executives and tell them that, listen, I know we currently have a CISO, but if the CISO ever leaves, I would like to be considered. And then as soon as that CISO left, how often did you lobby for that position? And they're sort of looking at me like, what do you mean? I'm like, this isn't a hard question. They're like, Eric, I didn't. I'm like, really? So let me get this straight. You never told your company you were interested in being a CISO. When the CISO position became open, you never told them you wanted the job. And you were mad they gave it to somebody else. And they're like, yes. And I'm laughing and they were, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to work on this one a little bit. Right? The point is, how is anyone else supposed to know what you want? You really think that's reasonable that the company should have read their mind and offered them the position? We got to take action. We got to stop sitting on the sidelines and take control of your life if you want to be world-class CISO. So that was the first thing Marie Callendar did. She took action. Second, do you really think she had all this free time? Single mom, not making a lot of money, knowing her job could go out of business, raising kids, cooking dinner, do all those things. She wasn't just sitting around with free time, but she made the time to bake her first pie. What if she decided not to? What if she decided, I'm too busy? No one's going to buy my pie. My pies aren't that good. It's not worth the energy and effort. And she never, ever baked that first pie. When you go to the supermarket, those freezers would be empty. Actually, no, they'd have a competition. But they wouldn't say Marie Callendar. It all started because one person decided she was going to bake a pie. So when are you going to bake your pie? When are you going to start taking action and take control of your career and follow your purpose? So, of course, I think you know how the story goes because I sort of gave you the punchline, but Marie brought in the first pie and it sold out. Everybody bought the slices right away. So then she bakes another pie the next day, and by 8 a.m. they're sold out, and people are coming in going, where's the pie? It's bringing so much business to the diner that the owner of the diner sends her home and says, make more pies. So now she's baking 5 pies, 10 pies, 20. She's making so many pies that she actually buys a commercial oven for her home so she can make more of those pies, running it out of her house. Then they start selling so many pies, she buys out the diner. Right? The dude ain't making hamburgers anymore, right? They're all coming in for the pies. Now it's Marie Callender's diner. So now she has a diner. Then she opened up multiple diners. Then she starts making frozen pies. And like I said, the rest is history. But it all started with her following her purpose. It all started with her saying, I believe, and I know for a fact that my gift is making pies. I believe I can make pies better than other people, and I love and I enjoy doing it. And then she took action and went to the boss and said, can I bring in a pie and sell it? And then she went home and baked the pie. So what are the lessons learned here? If you want to be a world-class CISO, it requires two things. Make a decision and take massive action. So question, whether you are a CISO now listening to this, whether you want to be a CISO in 6 months, whether you want to be a CISO in 5 years, what is a decision you can make today? Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. What is a decision you can make today that will change the trajectory of your career? It might and might not, right? Marie didn't know if anyone was going to buy her buys. And maybe that was her purpose or wasn't her purpose, but she had to test it out. But the point is, you have to make a decision. Then, once you make a decision, what is massive action that you can take every day against that decision? And just so we're clear here, massive action doesn't have to be massive time. It could be 20 minutes a day. It could be 45 minutes a day. But you have to do something every single day to move that forward. So I'll give a few examples. If you are currently a security engineer and you want to be a CISO at a Fortune 50 company, what is a decision you can make today that would change the trajectory of your career? One is you can start to become the authority on strategic security for healthcare. And then you can start putting out the CISO Healthcare newsletter every month. Now, to put that out every month means every day you're going to have to do work. You're going to have to write articles. You're going to have to do research. You're going to have to put that out there. But you're telling me that if you want to be a CISO at a healthcare organization and you start creating and putting out the CISO Healthcare newsletter, where every month you talk about top issues in healthcare and cybersecurity, breaches, how they could have been avoided, tips and tricks, and you start putting it out for free, and you do this consistently for 24 months, you're telling me that's not going to change your career, or it has the potential to change the trajectory of your career. So that's it, my friends. If you want to be world-class, it's basically two things. Make a decision and take action. And as I said, as we finish up, I urge you all, what is a decision you can make right now? And here's the thing. Don't overthink it. If it's not good, you can make another decision next month. Don't overanalyze it. Whatever comes to mind, go with it. Go with it. Go with it. But what is a decision that you can make right now that has a high potential of changing the trajectory of your life, your career, and then make that decision and immediately take action. And then every single day, take action against that decision. And while there's no guarantees in life, I can almost guarantee if you do that, in 6 months, your life could be totally unrecognizable. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Life of a CISO, and I hope you're very clear on the path you need to take to figure out what is